Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I'm going to jump right in. This is getting ridiculous as far as Congress is concerned. They need to pass stimulus now because not only have the $600 a week federal booster expired, we know this happened a long time ago in July, not only have we had the rejection of a $1.9 trillion offer by the Democrats from the administration before the election. Not only have we had an election, but we now have a situation where 12 million individuals are going to be losing their unemployment benefits at the end of December because of several provisions from the CARES Act that are actually scheduled to be completely eliminated at the end of December, pending any further legislation from Congress for the extension of those benefits. It's just mind-blowing when you actually think about it. In fact, many programs are expiring, not just unemployment benefits. On your screen, you'll see a complete list of all of the programs that are actually expiring. We're talking about expiration of the PEUC program, the expiration of the PUA program. We're talking about the eviction moratorium expirations. We're talking about relief for student loans expiring and many other programs expiring. In fact, if you take a closer look at all the programs that are expiring, you will understand that we are looking at a cliff, essentially an economic cliff towards the end of this year, despite the fact that the stock market is at all-time highs, despite the fact that we have 2 vaccines, potentially more vaccines, despite the fact that individuals on both sides, the Democrats as well as the Republicans, want more stimulus. I've said this before. I think that our politicians should stop acting like children and should actually start acting like adults, like our elected representatives. And guess what? I'm not the only one that feels that way. We are about to take a look at a clip from the Wells Fargo CEO, Jamie Dimon. And Jamie is one of the most highly respected figures in the banking industry. By the way, I don't have any holdings in Wells Fargo. I have a big position in Bank of America. The 2 of my biggest positions are Apple and Bank of America. You don't want to know how many stocks I own of those 2 companies. You'll fall off your chair. I own a lot of Apple and Bank of America, my 2 biggest holdings. I think Bank of America as a stock is a much better stock than Wells Fargo, but that's just my opinion. But let's get back to Jamie Dimon and see exactly what he said about the need to come together for some sort of a stimulus deal. In fact, he said we need to stop this childish behavior and we need to split the baby in the middle, down the middle, and get a deal done. Remember, if the Democrats want at this moment in time $2.2 trillion and the Republicans want to offer, I believe it's $500 billion. That's what the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell talked about. So many numbers are being thrown out that even as a reporter, it's hard for me, as a citizen reporter, it's hard for me to keep track of all this. But why don't we just split things down the middle? 500 billion, 2.2 trillion, let's meet in the middle at 1.6, 1.7 trillion, 1.5 and just call it a day and move on, because individuals need help. We need to be able to extend benefits. Let's listen to what Jamie had to say from Wells Fargo, and let's listen to his comments and let me know if you agree or disagree. As always, you'll be provided with a link in the description section below to the actual news clips and all the articles that we reference in our videos. But let's see what the chief of Wells Fargo had to say. Let's roll the tape.
How much of a light at the tunnel do you see, or do you see even a potential crisis? I asked, we had Masa-san join us yesterday, and he said that he is critically worried, not just about the health crisis unto itself, but he's worried about a financial crisis.
Well, I'm not as worried about a financial crisis. I think the Fed stepped in and did a lot of things to avert the worst parts of that, et cetera. But again, I agree with Masa. I'm not worried. I'm just saying focus on the job at hand. We've got to get the vaccine out. We've got to right now. We've got to get people safer. And you're seeing a skyrocketing of COVID in just about every part of not just America, of the world. So we got to get through this. So I think it's a mistake to take our eye off that ball, and we need some of that fiscal stimulus just to bring it through. And the other thing, can I just mention about the fiscal stimulus? I know now we have this big debate. Is it 2.2 trillion, 1.5 trillion? You got to be kidding me. I mean, just split the baby and move on. I mean, this is childish behavior on the part of our politicians. We need to help the citizens of America. And let's just get through it. And it reminds me going back when President Obama was trying to get basically effectively Simpson Bowles done. Right. And the Republicans and Democrats got bogged down in that $800 billion. I would have walked in that last room of negotiation. If I had to give it all up on either side, it would have been great for the country. They should have focused on what's great for the country, not who won the last little part of the negotiation.
So, not that we need to play the blame game, but have you had conversations either with Nancy Pelosi or with Mitch McConnell about this?
I saw Nancy Pelosi a couple of weeks ago in D.C., but I have not spoken to them recently. But I would say the same thing: just get it done, split the baby, move on.
Do you think, though, that's possible, given that every time there's been conversations about a compromise? I mean, you could argue that the compromise didn't happen in the end, based on what you're saying, on the Democratic side as opposed to the Republican side.
I don't want to blame either side, okay? If I was the one walking in the room in the negotiation, I would walk out with a deal, even if I lost my points. I would not sit there and act like I have to win every single little point, every single thing. I understand the arguments on both sides. I think there are complete legitimate arguments on both sides. But my view is that there's a big part of our country which is really struggling. And if you don't believe me, go out there and talk to the people. You know, we've got branches all over the country. You know, we deal with millions of small businesses. That's what we should be focusing on. It's got nothing. It has zero to do with Democrats or Republicans. Okay, so it's got to do with helping those people get through the toughest part of COVID, and we're not through it yet.
If that stimulus doesn't come, what happens then?
Well, the probability of having a good economic outcome drops. Now, I don't know what it means, but the fact is, helping there will help the economy, and we should keep our eye focused on that.
What do you make?
It just increases the probability of good outcomes, and it helps a lot of people from severe suffering.
By the way, I have done another video where I've talked in detail about the 12 million individuals who are about to lose all their benefits come December 26th. And let's be clear, this money that goes from the government, from the federal, state governments to individuals receiving unemployment benefits does indeed get injected back into the economy. In fact, studies have shown that government spending on unemployment insurance programs generates larger returns on the economy. According to a decade-old study by Moody's Analytics, every dollar spent on unemployment insurance generates $1.61 of additional gross domestic product. So we all know it needs to be done. It can be done because, you know, the Federal Reserve and the United States Treasury can simply, the Federal Reserve can generate the money, they can act as a lender, and the United States Treasury can distribute that money, it can act as a spender. Honestly, because the United States currency is a reserve currency in the world, the United States from an economic perspective can pretty much do what it wants. But the sad part, the tragic part is for this money to reach United States citizens, specifically the ones who need it the most. I'm talking about individuals who are on long-term unemployment insurance, individuals who've been unemployed for 6 months or more, individuals who are dependent on these unemployment benefit programs. Check out the grid that I did earlier in another video. This is the unemployment benefits grid, and I provided you with a walkthrough of the entire grid in another video where I explained who's eligible for which benefits and which benefits are scheduled to expire when. So definitely check out the video that we released on the unemployment benefits grid. But individuals who need help the most, individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, hospitality, those are the individuals who need that help. If there ever was a time in the history of our country where the most vulnerable amongst us, where the most sensitive, the most economically delicate amongst us needed help, it's right now. It needs to get done, and as you can see, I feel as passionately about this as Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Wells Fargo. The folks who are getting unemployment insurance, they are spending that money. This is a quote from Celine McNicholas, who's the Director of Government Affairs at the Economic Policy Institute. She said, this is just bad economics. When you look at the impact of what this is going to do in the overall recovery, when demand is already so weak, you're looking at taking a problem and making it worse. These are the comments from the Director of Government Affairs at the Economic Policy Institute. Now keep in mind, at the time I'm recording this video, more than 21 million of our fellow citizens are claiming some form of unemployment insurance. And this is data from the United States Labor Department. So millions of individuals are going to have their financial lifeline cut off on the 26th of December, pending any further legislation for extension from Congress. It's just unbelievable we're even talking about this. Here's a quote from Michelle Evermore, who's an expert on unemployment benefits. She said, and I quote, "This cutoff will affect 10 times as many people around the last cutoff." She's referring to the 2008 Great Recession. She said that was catastrophic. This is just exponentially worse, and it just really doesn't seem like it's going to be addressed prior to next year. Keep in mind that the unemployment is disproportionately impacting more African American individuals, more Latino individuals. It's impacting more mothers, especially mothers with younger children. It's just unbelievable what's actually happening. The most vulnerable amongst us are getting impacted the most and are getting essentially caught in the middle of the crossfire between a Democrat-led House, led by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, hello Speaker Pelosi, and a Republican-led Senate, led by the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. All of this, by the way, is happening while many unemployment insurance benefits and other benefits that you can see on the screen here are scheduled to expire at the end of the year. This is the entire list of benefits that are scheduled to expire at the end of the year. Like I said, I have done another video talking about the entire unemployment insurance grid, where I've walked our viewers and subscribers through the entire grid, where you can understand which benefits are expiring and when. I'm hoping that they can come to a consensus. In fact, the quote, here's another quote from Michelle. She said, I quote, "I hope policymakers are taking that into account." Let me know what you think about this information in the comment section below. Please participate in our community. Our community is a very engaging, respectful, bipartisan, intelligent community. So participate in our community and please share this video with friends and family. Let me know what you thought of the comments from Jamie Dimon and what you think of this coming financial cliff, this coming economic cliff. But definitely check out our other video where I demonstrate the chart to you and where I walk you through all of the different benefits, who's eligible for what, when something is exhausted, what is expiring when, so you have a clear idea of what's lying ahead for you come Christmas time. My goal is to provide you with important information about the country, about the economy, and about your money, and I'm hoping you learn something new from this video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I appreciate you watching. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time, either word, to 70,000, that's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list going forward. You can opt out of the SMS alerts list at any point in time. You can also, if you want, get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you can get added to our email list. Now, you can also, if you like, follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. And if you want, you can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Now keep in mind, YouTube does not always send out notifications on time, so please make sure you bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time, and this way you can visit the homepage of our channel and watch our videos at any point in time that you want. So please make sure you do that. As always, you'll find a link to all our resources in the description section below. Please comment, because our community is growing. It's very intelligent, it's very vibrant, it's very respectful. It's a bipartisan community where we all work together on exchanging ideas about the country, about the economy, and about money, because that's what this channel is all about. Again, please comment below and participate in our growing community. If you learned something new from this video, please share this video with friends and family. And also, finally, if you learned something new, please ignite that like button, please ignite that subscribe button, and please then gently tap that notification button so that you can get notified whenever we release new videos, because after all, the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, enable notifications, because that really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much.